This machine you are actually seeing is a Lulzbot Mini. It's an incredible machine. It's a real workhorse actually, and it's a real industrial machine. And this printer is actually able to print with 0.05 millimeters layer thick, which is absolutely incredible for a kind of machine like this. Because it's a little bit a old machine, I was expected some dysfunction about, but actually it works nice. It works nice actually. It controls the bed. Because actually what I wanted is to repair this wheel coming from a bag, traveler bag, which is completely dead and broken, and I guess with ABS it's maybe possible to change it with another one. And so I have this printer since not a long time now, and I had an issue with this part, which is the idler actually, which press the ABS wire against the shaft of the step motors behind, and it was broken. For the moment I put just a little glue on it to make the job, but I had to print a new one. This one was printed actually on Creality, and this one was printed on this machine. You can see the incredible made of this Lulzbot Mini comparing one to each other. This one was made on Creality, and this one was made on the Lulzbot Mini. Look at the size of the hot hand. Provided with this machine you have also another tools like this, which is another head. This one is for GPU because it has two heads, one for ABS and PLA, and this one is for GPU and Ninja Flex material. This device used actually a 2.85 millimeters, and so I have to use it like this. As you can see, she's beginning to make the wheel. This device is able to print at 0.05 millimeter thickness. I made some tests with it, and as you can see, but it's not noticeable here, the part at your right is made at 0.05 millimeters, and the other here is made at the left is made by with 0.1 millimeters, and on the one which is at your right, it's impossible to see the layers actually. I didn't expect so much quality coming from a whole machine like that, and obviously it's an industrial machine. On this huge hot end you can notice there is not an idler to compress. You have the GPU coming here, and that's all. There is no idler and no pressure effective to adjust, to tweak something. There is it's more simple than the one for the ABS and PLA. And the impressive thing is that this little fan to refresh the heat cooler here, which is over the hot end, the heat breaker, and you will have an hexagon head print. And this kind of stuff are able to work from the factory at 300 degrees, which is the best way to print very sturdy materials for mechanics and repair some stuff. Just see how it works and make some entertainment. The quality of this part is actually very impressive. With the same setting on Creality, which is a very nice machine too. But you can notice the quality finish is really different. This one is made in ABS and this one is made by PLA. I was searching a device like this to work with to make a special repair. We need to intend that I was looking for a machine which is able to make some very sturdy material, very strong parts. And of course, to make that, maybe the high temperature is required here. This Lulzbot Mini is able to reach 300 degrees very easily. From factory, you don't need to make any tweak on this to reach this kind of temperature. And the story about that is that I bought this printer for a very, very low price, incredibly low price. The last owner decided to stop his business with a printer for traveling around the world because he worked a lot last years, and he decided to he gave up actually with the printers. He won a lot of money with that, and he sold a lot of this stuff for very inexpensive price. And this machine didn't work a lot on his workbench, and when I bought it, there was some mechanic failure and a lot of trouble, and it was very hard to tweak this and to connect this printer to the computer, because there was a missing driver, and the USB key which was provided with this printer was corrupted, and it makes me harder to find the good driver for this machine. Actually, little by little, step by step, I found some a way to tweak this machine, a lot of G-code and some program to make it more recognizable by the program, which is actually the same than Cura. Cura is actually made by some printers for a lot of printer like this, some few changements on it to make a special Cura for each machine like this. And even if I downloaded this slicer, it didn't work at all. I had to manage to find some driver, etc., to flash the firmware many times until it began to work. It was very, very hard, until the point I decided to throw it, to solder this printer in many parts, but it works very nice. It defined my first purpose, which was to make mechanical parts like this. So this is a very unprepared video, and sorry for that, but it's a good idea, I think, because sometimes you have to upload some video talking about what you are making on your bench, because some people are curious or want to know what you are making. Sometimes it's hard to make interesting things, because without in the deep, we are not always doing interesting stuff. Here, for the example, I'm just repairing a wheel of a bag, a traveling bag, and this bag was intended to use for traveling last week, but it didn't make its job because the wheel was destroyed, and the girl didn't use it because of this wheel. So I decided to repair it, and this is the faulty wheel, which is completely destroyed. I guess the ABS coming from this machine is able to withstand some applications, some use, some travel around the streets and the macadam. And I guess ABS, I guess this is just ABS, which the printer is printing now. So I think it will make the job. The video is not the height science video, but it's always a video talking about what I'm making here. I have also another project which is actually a phone holder with which provide to you to use your phone on your car despite a very aggressive sun, because sometimes your phone, when you're using music, when you're calling, when you're using your GPS, sometimes it's overheat, and it's the application felt inside actually. So one of my projects is to make some phone holder with integrated cooling fan, with an integrated charger also, with another kind of printer, because I don't like to use all the same printer for the same project. This is the way I'm saying that. So okay, just waiting this wheel coming from this printer, which is absolutely amazing. I'm totally amazed by this printer. I didn't expect so much quality, so high quality coming from a machine like that. Okay, this is an industrial machine. This is not for fun. This is serious. But actually, when you see this kind of part, this part is absolutely amazing. I never see a part like this in my life. This part is like coming from an injection mold. Actually, this is the part coming from a Creality. This is part coming from the Lulzbot Mini. For the new wheel, I made a hole bigger than this one because I want to fit in there a part of this copper tube, because I don't want to put the shaft inside the plastic directly. I prefer to use a part of copper to recreate a kind of bearing inside. So what I'm making now is to cut a part which is the same than the width of this wheel. This is just a bearing actually, but made by copper. Printing still progress. I don't really know why it takes so long, but I think for this wheel it takes 4 hours of print. Maybe I forget something on the slicer about the quality. You can see quality is absolutely amazing. I think I cannot remove it with just because for who can be interested, I use a very cheap component. This is what I use to make my bed more adherent, more sleeky. It's very inexpensive and it's work very hard. If you found this kind of product, I give you an advice: to buy some bottle like this. It costs less than €3, and it gives you a very, very nice sleek on the bed when you need a little thumb, to make your print sticking to the bed for a good print. Don't forget, anti-slip tray, anti-slip. Slip, c'est pas le slip, hein, c'est slip, c'est glissé. I bought this Action Market in France. Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess on this bench. Okay. There it is. It was Alexander again. See you soon.